Can you guys hear me? Just doing a quick little sound check. If you're watching live, let me know, can you hear the music? And can you hear me talking? Perfect. Okay, awesome. Let's get going. So I am doing this little presentation on Zoom. So if anybody wanted to play along and ask questions, all that kind of stuff, I sent out a Zoom link if you registered. So hop over there if that's what you want to do. I'll try to keep my eyes on the Facebook group also. And let me copy this link. I'm going to put it in the Zoom chat and I'll also put it in the Facebook. I'm really multitasking here. So here's the handouts. All right, good deal. And if you're catching me live, that's great. You can just let me know in the Facebook comments. I don't see anybody on the Zoom live, but that's okay. So super excited to have you here. Thanks for joining me. And again, just make comments and I'll try to check over there and see if anybody's got questions there. So I'm going to share my screen here. And we will jump in. We move this out of the way. And let me get started. All right. So let me just refresh the screen here, make sure that you can see my outline here. Okay, perfect. All right, let's jump in. I am super excited to talk about this, creating your business hub. So here's the deal. I'm going to dig into it, but we all need that easy, simple button in our business. And it seems like the more we get into our online business, if you're like me, your brain might feel like it's exploding some days. So I thought this is the perfect solution to help you stay organized. And I'm calling it your second brain. Okay. And let's just talk about what is the challenge. Just as I mentioned, let's face it, you have information coming at you left and right. You're trying to keep track of everything. And once you're in the online space, if you're watching live, uh, give me some kind of emoji or something. Do you feel like that it's just more and more and more as far as things that you have to keep up with? So the challenge is real. And at the end of the day, you might be feeling burnt out. You might be dropping the ball different places. Too much information. So that's how I feel. Not just information to run my business, but information when I'm servicing my clients, information on, stuff that I'm doing in the background, and then pile on all the other stuff, right? Your home life, your personal life, do you even have a personal life? So how do you keep track of all of that? And the real struggle is how do you organize everything? And, if you've been in my world very long at all, I'm all about systems and coming up with some way to organize all of your information. And the secret is not a sticky note. if you could see my desk, if you could see what's in front of my computer, all of the little sticky notes and everything, because we just get in a hurry and we just jot something down and then later we can't find it. There's no system to it. Let me know again in the comments. Have you fallen into the sticky note trap? The other problem, I fall into this a lot because I love spreadsheets and I love systems. So then I think, you know what? I'm going to create a system and it's going to organize everything and it's just going to be easy peasy. And I have tried a lot of different things. I've tried Trello board, Asana boards, um, Google Sheets, OneNote, notebooks, you name it. I have tried all of these different avenues and it just doesn't work. Again, let me know maybe what you've tried in the past and what were the issues. And what I'm finding is most people, by the time they get done, it is so complicated, you just can't keep up with it. The other thing that I want to mention is what is the real cost when you don't have things organized? And again, let me know in the comments if you're oh, somebody said they didn't get the Zoom link. Okay, hold on just a second and let me find the Zoom link for you. And let me say this, hold on. Whoops, can you hear me now? I accidentally muted myself. Hold on, let me find the Zoom link. Maybe. Just give me a second. I've got too many windows open. Okay, I'll pop the Zoom link inside of the Facebook group. Okay, so again, if you're just joining me, you can watch it either on Facebook or join me live Zoom, and then when I actually start building out our little spreadsheet hub, if you have questions or something, you're welcome to unmute and go from there. So let's talk about the cost of not having things organized in your business. The first cost is your time. And if you're first starting out in your business, you think, well, my time's not that valuable, but it is. So I always challenge my students and my clients, hey, let's put an hourly rate, on your value. So are you going to, charge $100 an hour? Like if we prorated everything? So just think about whatever that hourly rate is. And if you spend over the course of a week, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours trying to sort through all of the mess, the digital mess, that cost adds up. And I hate to admit it, but how many of us have redone something, especially on Canva or maybe a Google Doc? It's out there and you search for 30 minutes and then it's like, you know what, I could make it faster than trying to find it. If that has been you, let me know in the comments. We've all done that. And so what is the secret? The secret is you need a good business system. Again, my magic word that I love, a business system that allows you to consolidate everything so that it's easy to find things. And basically your business hub, AKA your second brain. And that's what this little presentation is all about today. How can you build your little business hub? And what will make it effective? What are the requirements? Excuse me. one, it has to be easy to use. It can't be so complicated that you dread even opening it up. And it has to be focused. So, in other words, this isn't your uh, memory chest that you're piling everything in. These are very focused items, resources, links that you use all the time. And that's the next note here, things that you use all the time in your business. Let me just grab my little pen here. And I've got a couple of worksheets for you in a minute to think about what are those most used places. And sometimes what I challenge people is just keep a little like a daily work log and just write down, oh, I use this template in Canva. And, maybe you only use it once every 2 weeks or once a month, but when you use it, you're ready to use it. Maybe it's an important thing, or maybe there's something else that you get into 5 times a day. All right. So as we're building out our second hub, I want you to think about those most used items. And if things aren't at your fingertips, if they're not easy, if it's not, right there staring you in the face, kind of like this digital dashboard here, then it's not going to do any good if you have to search around for your business hub, right? So that's where our command center comes in place. All right. And so we're going to build this little command center. And if you're a member of my Digital Business Academy or my Digital Business Academy Prep School, if you're a member to either one of those, you get this built one free, no cost to you. What we're going to do today, I mean, you'll see how easy it is. You can easily build your own. Or if you want to purchase this one, you can get it for like $9 off of my Etsy shop. All right. So I put the link in Facebook. And I also put the link in the chat on Zoom if you want to grab these handouts. So basically, just gives you a copy of all the handouts. These, you could print these 2 pages out or just use a sheet of paper, quite honestly. These aren't editable, but just a place for you to start thinking about. Now, and I'm still in the process of building out my central hub, but there's a couple of different categories, major categories that I use all the time. And the first one, it's my lead magnets and sales pages. Now, if you're first starting out in business, you might just have one lead magnet. You might just have one sales page. Or if you've been in business for a while, you might have several, depending on, you might be in a challenge, you might be in a Facebook group that allows you to post your freebie once a week or something, whatever it is. But I want you to think about, because this is like your main category. This is your bread and butter. Those lead magnets and those sales pages and or opt-in pages. Okay. So again, I'm not expecting everybody to get this done right now, but I will give you a couple of minutes here in a second. But this page is more for those lead magnets, checkout, sales pages, things like that. And then another kind of major category, so to speak, is the excuse me, the main sections or the main places that you go to all the time. And I can't really write on this with my mouse, but I've got different places on Google that I go to all the time. Okay. So that's one. Another area that I go to is Trello. When I work with my clients, I'm in and out of Trello all the time. And then another one, of course, is Canva. Okay, so you can kind of see where I'm going here. In your business, there's probably a few areas that you go to all the time. So as the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. And so remember going back to making things too complicated. If something's not easy, you're never going to use it or you're never going to finish it. So my suggestion is you get started building your command hub, and you just do a few. And then as the days go on, things will be triggered and you can like have an aha moment, because on Canva, we're probably in and out of Canva all the time, but do you have folders? And if you don't have folders, you need to create some within Canva that you're in all the time. All right. So do you have like a social media folder inside of Canva that, you use those templates all the time? Or do you have another folder that you use to build what I call the digital stack, the image of the computer and the pages that you use for your marketing pieces? All right. So as you get going in it, I just want you to use these worksheets to start thinking about, okay, this, I use this a lot, so I probably should put it on the business hub. All right. Is that making sense? So the key is this business hub is not to be every single thing that you use all of the time. And let me say this, that in I don't know if you can really see it, but along the top of my Google, what do they call this? My quick access bar. I will pin or, kind of drag down different things that I use all the time. But here's the challenge with that. Initially it was just 3 or 4 things. You could create a folder, you could just drag things. But then all of a sudden now I have like 50 of these things pinned along the top. Those are like the main things that I use all the time. The link to get into my Digital Business Academy membership, the link to get into my funnel builder, whatever it is. Those are the kinds of things that we want to put on our command center. And then we can like refresh everything and not be cluttered with all of this junk. All right. So let me know if that's making sense. So let me just open up the working copy here. Make sure that you guys can see it on Facebook. So again, just to remind you, if you're inside of Digital Business Academy or DBA Prep, as I call it, those 2 memberships, you get this for free. But again, when you see it, it's very simple to build. I want to show you how this one works and then just show you how you can build your own. So the way this spreadsheet is set up, under the Start Here tab, there's just some, general directions, a quick little video on how to use the spreadsheet. I'm giving you a nice little addition here, the selling system framework, all of that kind of stuff. And so if you're using this particular one that's already done for you, under the Setup tab, these are like the main categories that you go to all the time. So again, going back to those little worksheets, what are the main categories in your business? And then the order that you put them here on this list is where they will show up here. All right. So right now, just to show you, the first main folder is called client folder. So that's the first main column here. The second one is Canva, DBA membership, DBA prep, social media, Pinterest, all that kind of stuff. And then I scroll over and then I've got some extra categories here. All right. So I am going to go back to my setup, and just so you can see how it works, I'm going to call this, let's see, what do I want to call it? Lead magnet and opt-ins. It's nice to kind of keep the titles short so that it shows up. Come back here. Okay, and so see how it changed it. and then it's front and center. Then the next thing is, okay, what am I going to put into those? And again, we don't want everything, but Funnel Foundation's DBA membership. This is my DBA membership like sales page. So I'm just going to copy that link and I'm going to come back over here. And here I'm going to change the name to DBA sales page because this is something that I hand out all the time to people. So I'm just going to highlight it. And then up here under Google Sheets, once you highlight it, there's a little insert link button. And I'm just going to paste it in and apply it. Okay. And so there it is. And maybe my next one, and again, because I don't have everything in one place, maybe my next one will be my DBA prep sales page. Okay. And you can do this in whatever order makes sense to you. You might want to just do brainstorming and write down all of the things that you access all the time, and then go grab the link and copy it, or do it individually, whatever makes sense. Okay. So is that making sense, what I'm saying, first of all? Okay. Now, if you're not part of the membership, you don't want, one that's already done for you, how would you build this out? Let me just show you one other thing. This one has some little categories already built in. Let's see. So over here, you'll notice like the Trello's way over here, and then I have category 3 and 4. If I click on that, it's almost like a little mini button. And then if I click right there, it shouldn't have opened a new one, but it will take me to that column. I need to change that one little thing, but it just jumps me over to that column. So again, if the columns kind of spread, anyway, just a quick little shortcut on that. All right. So if you wanted to build this on your own, how would you do it? If you're in a brand new Google Sheet, down here at the bottom, you should just have that tab. Or if you're using another worksheet, you can just press the plus to add a sheet. And I'm just in a blank document here. Okay. Okay, so while you're getting your document open, Sky said, what if I have more than one lead magnet? Yes, that is a great question because I have about 10 right now. So another suggestion that I have is, so here, this whole column you can use for lead magnets and opt-ins. So generally speaking, I'm usually promoting just 2 or 3 different lead magnets. I'm not normally promoting all of my lead magnets at once. So again, our command center is front and center of what we're using right now. But what you can do is you can create another sheet down here, just by doing the plus sign. And under that one, if you right click, you can change the name of it. And I'm just going to say lead magnets. And I'm just going to say name, URL. And so basically you could make a master copy. So let's say, and I hate to admit it, but let's say you have like 20 different lead magnets. Over here on the main hub, remember what I said, if we make it too complicated, we're not going to use it. If we have to sort through stacks of links, we're not going to use it. And that's the problem I've had before, because literally I have about 10 different spreadsheets. So then I have to spend time trying to find those spreadsheets. So if I have a spreadsheet or a tab that just has all of my lead magnets, I could just link to that particular spreadsheet. Okay. If on this, my lead magnet thing here, this could just be my repository of every single lead magnet I have and the URL. All right, is that making sense? But on the main hub, these are the ones that's front and center that I'm using today. The Canva is also the same issue here, and I'm not for sure why it says Canva client. Oh, because let me update that. Again, you look inside of the probably everybody's Canva account, it's a hot mess, right? So again, what are the things that you use all the time in Canva? So for me, one is what I call my digital stack templates, and it's a folder. And in that folder, there's lots of goodies. So I may not list everything that's in that folder. I might just have a link just to that folder. On Canva, I also have 2 or 3 templates that I share a lot with my clients, and I share with the members inside of my Digital Business Academy. So I might link just to that. And then if I'm talking with you, or if I'm doing a presentation or whatever it is, and I want to grab that very quickly, it's right here, front and center. All right. So is that making sense? So again, let me know in the comments. I'm trying to watch both Facebook and the Zoom comments here. Okay. So hopefully that answers that question. So to build this from scratch, here you've got like a blank spreadsheet. The first thing that I do, this is just maybe a little OCD on my part. I come up here to the very top left corner. I click that and it like highlights everything. I hate Arial, so I always come over to the font and I just use Monsiat. That's kind of my favorite go-to. And because I need things a little bigger, I just make it whatever size I want. That's just what I do. Okay. And then what do I need? So if we look over here, there's space. You could put your little logo and the name, if you wanted to make it kind of pretty. But then basically we have our menu. You don't have to put the numbers here. So the menu and then the categories. Now, if you're just building this from scratch, what I suggest is I'm just going to say main menu. We're not going to worry about building in the little special opt-in links, okay? And then if you want a little extra space, you just create a second column in between. And then actually, I am going to add a column to the left. So if you're playing along, if I'm going too fast, just let me know. Okay. And so I'm just going to you don't need the numbers. Sometimes it just kind of keeps me a little organized. So let's say the main thing I'm going to put on my main menu, again, I'm just going to say lead magnet and opt-ins. All right. And then again, because this is manual, it's not, actually, I'm going to show you a little shortcut here in a second. So then up here on this line, I'm going to repeat it, or I could copy it. This isn't a Google or Excel class. I'm just just showing you a quick little hack here. All right. Now, and then I'm going to make this. I'm going to make it a little bigger. Okay, so I've got my main menu, and then this corresponds with this. And now I'm going to make another kind of tiny little column. All right. And let me just put these in bold. I'll just put a color on it for right now, and then we can come back and kind of color things in. And let me center these. Again, however you like it. So there we go. Now, kind of a quick little shortcut. If now notice I've got column D and I've got it to like the size that I want. You can make it bigger or smaller. And then I've got the little extra column. I'm just going to select those two and you can just copy. And you can just copy it all the way across. I think, which is, no, I think there's a way just to quickly copy everything all the way across, but I don't know what that is off the top of my head. So I'm just going to grab both of these. Oops, I think I lost my one. So I'm just going to insert columns to the right. Ah, okay, that made a liar out of me. Let's copy and then paste. Copy, paste. Okay. See how that's working? And is it going to let me paste it again? Yep. So then you can just paste it all the way across. This is just a quick little time saver. And let me shrink this down so you can kind of see my big picture. Okay, so now I've got some columns all the way across, and it looks like my one tiny little column got deleted. So I'm just going to come back here. Okay, are you with me? So, I mean, how simple is that? So going back to these two sheets, the little worksheets, just do some brainstorming and figure out, okay, what are the main categories of work, basically? And then from there, what do you need put on to those? All right. And then here it is. And then from there, so my first one maybe is the lead magnet. Let me make this bigger so you can see it again. So there's my lead magnet opt-ins. And so, and actually I'm going to do it this way. So maybe the second thing is Canva. And the third thing is client folders. The next one is Trello, YouTube. Okay, you get the idea. I'm gonna make those bold so those stand out. Okay, so now at least I've got some of my categories started here. So my second one up here will be Canva. My third one, client folders. My next one, Trello. Trello, etc. And I'm just going to say next, next, next. All right. So again, a caution, you don't want this so complicated that it gets overwhelming. All right. So that's why maybe 10 categories, if it works for your business, that's probably, you might not even need 10 categories. Okay. So when we look at this sample, maybe the website, and on your website, are there 2 or 3 pages that you go to all the time, and you could combine things. So maybe there's only a couple of pages on your website plus 2 or 3 sales pages that you go to. So you could combine all those under one column if you want, whatever makes sense for you. Those are your column headings. And again, I want you to start simple because I want it to be usable and I want it to make sense. You know, if you ever follow any of those like home organization, I'm kind of hooked on watching them, but do I necessarily do them? No. But what they usually do is they do a clean sweep of everything, but then they start putting things back piece at a time. They don't do a clean sweep and then turn around and try to stuff everything back in. So when you're building your command center, I don't want you saying, okay, I've got a list of 50 URLs, my opt-ins, my lead magnets. I only want you to pick those top few. And then again, if you see that you have like me, my biggest pain in the side is Canva, and it's on my list. In fact, I think I'm going to do a little house cleaning workshop inside of Digital Business Academy where we actually organize our Canva accounts, because it drives me crazy to waste time looking for things, but I'm in it all the time, right? And you probably are too. But again, what are the main things that I'm using inside of Canva? So within Canva, my YouTube thumbnails, I call it my digital stack template. That's where you've got the computer and the little iPhone and the document spread. I use that all the time. My social media post, I've got a folder in there that I use a lot of times. I have a separate one for, let's say, testimonials. Okay, so you see what I'm doing here? And again, however your mind works, get this spreadsheet started. And then, I don't want you to feel like, okay, I've got to get everything done in one day. Use this as your working board. And then when you're going someplace, accessing one of these resources, one of these links, ask yourself, you know what? I use this a lot, so let me go over here and add it to my spreadsheet. Is that making sense? Uh, Let me know in the comments if you're watching live that makes sense. So it's really that easy to set things up. I'm just gonna, my OCD here is like, okay, I need to change this so it looks a little better. So okay, so Sky is asking, so the main menu column doesn't correspond to the menu across the top in that I don't have social media posts attributed to client folders. Um, Correct. Oh, that is an excellent point. The main menu here, this right here, points to the column names, not across the board like this? That is an excellent question. I'm glad you asked that. Does that make sense? So the main menu, and the reason that it's built like this is, I'm so happy that you asked that. The main reason is if you want to get the done for you one, each one of these will hot jump you basically to that column, because some of these columns over here don't show up. So it's just a quick little way. And, it's kind of because depending on, and, the older you get, the bigger things have to be. All right. So if I've got this large size here and I'm working in it, and then I want to hop down to one of my other categories, if I click there, the built for you one will take you over to that column. Okay. So excellent question, Sky. Glad that you asked that. All right. So again, when you're building it, these just are your main column headings, and then you just go across and you decide. And here's another tip for you. Again, on the done for you one, remember under the setup category, whatever order they're in here is how it shows up. So I wouldn't build the entire thing if you get the one out of the box, so to speak. I would not start adding my links until I'm comfortable with the order that it's in, because I have to kind of think about, okay, what are the very most important columns? think of this like your filing cabinet. And you know how there's always that top or the second from the top drawer that you're constantly getting in and out of? Then those are the ones that need to be up near the top here. So then as you build out this, or if you're using the pre-built one, the things that are used most often are front and center. Okay, does that make sense? Good. So, I mean, it's that easy. It's not rocket science. And again, if you're joining me late, you decide what the major categories are, and then you start listing what are those things that you go to all the time. And then basically you go to that site and grab the link. So I'll just kind of repeat. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to come back here and I'm just going to say DBA sales page, highlight it, come back over here to the top, that little link, insert link, and then I'm just going to paste that in and then apply it. And then there it is. And then, you know, if you hover over it, you can see what it is. So you just start building it. And I wouldn't try to do it all in one setting, just little bits at a time. But the key is then you're going to make this your front and center command. Now, at the very beginning, I'd said that I have a lot of, I use spreadsheets a lot. And so I have a lot of spreadsheets with, you know, different information, and I've, you know, pinned them all up here. Or here's some different like third-party tools that I use all the time. So maybe instead of Trello, maybe tools. And so one of them is Cast Magic. Absolutely love this. So then what I could do is, let me come over here. I'm just going to grab that link, come back here and paste that in. Okay. So, I mean, I just love this. It's just going to make your life so much easier. And if you want to pretty it up so that it looks like this, again, very easy to do. You just, you know, you can highlight all the way down and you can add the color. You can add custom colors, okay, to all of them. Or, I mean, if you really wanted to spend a lot of time, you could, which I've got a resource here in a minute, I'll show you. You know, you could make each one of these, you could use like the gradient color scheme. This doesn't make sense because they're in different color families, but you know what I mean? Is that making sense? Okay, let me come back here to this main hub here. Again, so do you see how useful this might be? If you, again, if you're in one of my memberships, or if you want to purchase this for 10 bucks, $9.97 or whatever it is, there's also a tab down at the bottom called Brand Elements. And let me just talk about this for a minute. On my computer, I have one of those like electronic sticky note things that has all of my brand colors that I use a lot. Which is okay, but then that little sticky note usually gets hidden behind something else. So use your command hub for some of your branding elements, okay? So put whatever fonts that you use, so it's front and center, okay? So whatever they are, and you know, again, whatever decision you make on your fonts. And then if you have, if you use Google Sheets a lot and maybe you have a team member, you can show them, okay, if I have a cell that has a formula, now this is really kind of going over the top, but let's say you were building a spreadsheet that you were going to sell or offer to your clients, you might say, okay, if a cell has a formula in it, what I really want is I want it to have like a light blue background. Okay. And then not so much here, but what we're doing is on the brand board, you're making decisions on how you want things to look in all your documents, not just Google Sheets, but in all your documents, okay? This here is just an image, okay? And absolutely love this place called Coolors, COOLORS.co. I just found out, I mean, they've got a free version here. They also have a paid version that you can do a few extra things to, okay? So for instance, let's say, and then if you hover over it, it will show you those colors. So if you're wanting to come up with your brand colors or you're wanting to refresh, this is a fun place to go. And then once you get your excuse me, once you get your colors, what you could do is just do a screenshot. Now see here, I can write down all of these color hex codes, but I could also just do a quick screenshot. I use Snagit. I need to do a little training on Snagit. It is my favorite, favorite tool that I constantly, whoops, I have it on video, that I use all the time. I'll do a quick little training on that sometime because I think you guys will enjoy it. Anyway, so you can just do a quick little screenshot, and now I can copy that. And then I could come back over here to my spreadsheet, and I already have it in there, but then I could just paste it in. Okay, does that make sense what I'm saying? I'll just paste it here so you can see it. And what's nice with Google is both in spreadsheets and there's third party. So here's a little third party Google add-on called iDropper. And what I can do is I'm going to say I'm going to pick from a web page, and then you just hover over and it will give you the color. Okay. And then if I come back up here, here's the number, and then here's the RGB number and all of that kind of stuff. All right. So what I am going to do on my spreadsheet is I'm going to have like a big display of my colors. I'm also going to type underneath the hex numbers so that I have everything. And then I don't have to hunt all the time trying to find it. And then Coolors, it might be and I don't know, Coolors is pretty inexpensive, I think, but they also have like a gradient generator. So if you wanted to, you know, have what word am I trying to think of? Where it starts out darker and then it goes light to the other end. You could have it do that for you. So you could have your main colors, maybe 3 or 4 colors, and then the gradient colors. All right. And then the other thing is, and again, what's nice about this hub is you can use this basically as a segue into having other people help you. So as you build out your second brain, if you've got somebody else working with you and maybe they're creating some things, you could put directions here. You could say, normally on my body, you know, on the Canva font colors or even on spreadsheets, usually I like to use this color. The style, I usually like it justified left and so forth. Whatever little directions you want to give. If there's certain icons that you use all the time, and if you want these icons to be in your brand color, I think all of these icons came from Canva anyway. You could just go to Canva and recolor them. All right. So that's the purpose of this branding element. All right. So is that making sense? And do you feel motivated that this is doable? We're going to just take baby steps. I want you to do just a few at a time. Think of like the major categories and then start building it out. And, you know, you may not, like right now, maybe I'm not going to use my Canva template for my testimonials, but next time I do, I'm going to grab the link of where that folder is, and then I'll come over here and update it. Which brings me to the next thing is, okay, once you get this built, where do you put it? If you don't know this trick, you just come up to the very top. Now I'm using Google, or I'm sorry, I'm using Chrome. If you come to the top, right now it's that little circle thing. And if I click and hold and drag it, I can drag it right to my, and what do you call this thing? Like my menu bar. And then you could right click and you could edit or rename it. And you know what? I'm just going to call it brain. I like to use little emojis because those kind of pop out to me. Okay. And then, so right here, it is front and center. Once I get mine completed, I'm going to get rid of all of these extra stuff because it's all going to live on the brain. All right. And then it will free up our own brain. All right. So let me come back here and let me see if you can see this again. I'm super excited. Can't wait to see what you guys are going to be coming up with. Now, and again, to get the handouts, I've posted the link so you can grab that. So I just want to take 5 minutes of your time and talk about, speaking of time and speaking of going down the rabbit holes, raise your hand. We've all done it, right? You're in the online space, and whether you've been here for a month or you've been here for 4 years, the one thing that keeps coming up over and over again that I see my people struggling with is going down all of these rabbit holes and feeling so frustrated that you're not ever going to get done. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to get through the tunnel? You know, you've been trying to build your landing page. You don't know what lead magnet, or maybe you've done 10 lead magnets, and then you get hung up with technology, all of that kind of stuff. And because there's so many tasks that we do, I mean, just our day-to-day business operations, if we do have clients or we do have like group coaching programs, all that kind of stuff, we're busy doing that. But what I'm finding is so many of my people are spending time on stuff that's not the money-making activities. You'll go on, number one, you'll go on, whoops, you'll go on Canva to, find something. And then 2 hours later, you come back because one, it took you that long to find it. And then two, you get caught up in another rabbit hole. You start playing around with Canva. All right. And then at the end of the day, you still don't have anything done. The other big problem that I see are the doubts. So many of my people, they are like super women. They have such important things to offer to the world, but what happens? I do it too. We start looking around and we start doubting ourselves. We start wondering, is this good enough? Maybe there's too much competition. Raise your hand if you've ever had those feelings. You're not alone. And my favorite, most people do not love tech. My background just happens to be in tech, but let's face it, you didn't join the online business to become the tech genie of the world, right? And it seems like every step of the way, then you have to take 3 steps back because you get caught up in the tech woes. And then finally, the icky selling. So many of my people, it's like, I don't want to be chasing people in the DMs. I feel uncomfortable selling. So here's the deal. And this is a little interesting side note. For those of you that don't know me, I am a professor and I teach. And so a course that I'm teaching this term is salesmanship, which is kind of tongue in cheek, interesting to me as I'm talking to the students. just hearing from their perspective, what makes a good salesperson and all that kind of stuff. But most people are not trained in sales, right? You're doing what you're doing because that's the expert that you're in. And we see so many negative ways that people are selling, it kind of turns us off. So you combine all of those things together, and guess what? You're not getting anything done. It's called procrastination. That's what it is. You put those things together, it's a perfect storm for not getting anything done. What you need is a simple, effective way to get things done and dusted in 30 days. And I just want to take 2 minutes and talk to you about, and this is going to blow your socks off when you hear the details, what I'm calling my 30 days to sales. And what do I mean by that? Again, the three main problems that I see people struggling with: one, this overthinking and doubting yourself. And the biggest problem this causes is you never get off the pot. I hate to say it that way, but you keep talking yourself into corners and you never get anything done. The second problem that I see is getting lost in what I call distraction land, just like what I mentioned, because here's the deal. We think we're working when we're playing in Canva. We think we're working when we spend 4 hours on our sales page. But guess what? The sales page never gets done, does it? Because once again, we start running into issues because we hate the technology, or even if we're good with technology, sometimes don't you feel like it takes forever and a day just to get something out there? And coupled with that, the whole selling thing just kind of turns your stomach. So let me know again if you can resonate with any of these things. Okay. So what's the solution? I'm just going to hop down here. Basically, instead of overthinking, having a true system that teaches you how you can be confident in your offer, and learning what you should be spending your time on, only the essentials, and a simple, I like to say like 90% tech free system, and something that will sell itself. So that's what I'm offering. And I've got some unique frameworks for each one of these areas here. So at the end of the 30 days to sales, you've got your baby ready to go. And finally, you're out of the tunnel. And then it's just rinse and repeat. So wouldn't that feel lovely to finally have everything done? Now, does that mean that you'll never change your program again, or you won't come up with another lead magnet? No, but guess what? At that point, you will have a turnkey system. You will have the tools in place that will make it super easy to rinse and repeat. And what does this look like? 4 weeks, 4 weeks of me walking along with you step by step. And at the end of the time, completed, ready to launch, ready to start making sales and delivering your goodness to the world. No more busy work. Simple to repeat. Hello, sales. And it's only $97 for all 4 weeks. I've got all kinds of goodies in here, and it is a no-brainer. If you are tired of going round and round that wheel and never getting things done, then you should hop into the 30 days to sales. Now, if you're already part of my Digital Business Academy, then you purchase this, but as a bonus, the Digital Business Academy is it's only $47 a month. Okay. If you're part of that, you also get Voxer support. And if you've never used Voxer, what is Voxer? It's like a walkie-talkie, but it's you and me, baby, all by ourselves every day for a month. And as Adele says, what? only $97. I feel like one of those info commercials. Yes, it is a steal. So I have a sales page here that you can go to. Let me bring it up here. I'll just show it to you. And then this last page is the link to everything that I've talked about. One thing you might notice, this is a sales page, but guess what? Does not involve tech. All right. So you can read through the sales page and see everything that's included. The links down below. Take advantage of it before I come to my senses and say, wait a minute, what am I doing? But there is a reason that I'm doing it so cheap, because I'm hoping that you will jump into Digital Business Academy, which is a steal in itself for $47 a month. Okay. Or you might step into my higher end coaching program. All right. Is that making sense? All right. So let me come back here. We have covered a lot today. Let me just make this front and center. Okay. Whoops. Can I pin this? Okay. Whew, we did it. So just a quick recap. In order to streamline your business, you need systems, right? I'm always pointing to my little sign up there. Systems is what's going to get you there so that you can streamline your business. And what you need is a command hub. And so we created that easy little spreadsheet. We're not putting everything in it, but the most used things, and you can build on it. So you don't have to do it all in one day. You can build on it. If you don't want to build it out, if you want that real pretty one that I already have, it's $10 if you just want to go buy it, or hop into either one of my membership groups and it's part of the monthly drop in there. All right. And if you're sick of going round and round in circles, join me in the 30 days to sales and let's get this baby done. When you read the little sales page, I talk about who is it for and who is it not. I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. So if you join, I'm going to make you accountable, because we are focusing on done, not perfection. And that perfectionism is part of that mindset that keeps you overthinking, and we're not having that. We're getting something done, ready to sell. Now, 2 years from now, you may look back and think, oh, that looks so amateur. Who cares? We're going to get it out in the world. We're going to validate your offer. We're going to get some sales coming in. Then you can up level your game. All right. Does that make sense? So if you have questions about it, reach out to me, send me a DM or email, whatever. And share in the group as you start building out your hub. And for my DBA members, I'll be dropping that in later today so you can get to work on that. All right. So just check to make sure that there's no questions over here on Facebook or on Zoom. And if not, I think that's all I have for you. So as always, thank you so much for joining me live. If you're catching it on the replay and you happen to watch it on Facebook, just comment in Facebook. And even for the people live, comment in Facebook, what was your favorite takeaway? And give me a commitment. What are you going to go work on? Like by Sunday night, are you going to have your columns built, or are you going to download the version if you're in my group or if you've purchased it? Let me know what you're doing. What's your first accountability step? And let me know in the comments. All right. Thank you. That's all I have for you. Reach out if you have questions. Take care. Bye.